for the most part. So welcome to MacBean Scottish Fitness. And let's see if we got a crock pot. I also want to have some of the, there we go. If need be, I can just shift her over. There we go. So I've got my veggies. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to make dinner in the crock pot. So I have Keystone beef I bought in September of 22. I have canned tomatoes, peppers, and I think some onions. I canned in September of 23. Then I have fresh veggies. Well, first of all, I'm going to get this where I can see everything. And the photo is some bees that I was seeing when I was talking to the neighbor, which was pretty cool. So if you popped in, go ahead and pop in the comments and say hello. And I'll start, once I start getting some people in here, I'll start covering some more things. So right now it's just, the easy part is just to start some basic prep for flavoring. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a beefy tomato kind of stew. I'm not going to put anything heavy in there yet, although if I have some potatoes, I might throw that in there. And it's going to be in the crock pot. And what it'll be is about time Mama gets home, it'll be nice to do it. So here are some of the fresh veggies. There's a nice pepper that I'm going to eat while I'm making it. Some jalapenos, which are going to go in there. And besides the canned tomatoes from my garden from last year, I'm also going to cut in some fresh tomatoes. So should be pretty exciting. And it's an easy thing to make. Now, if you are a regular follower of the channel on either here, oh, absolutely, thank you. I'm also on Rumble. I just started, and kind of the funny thing is, trying to do this one-handed. It's HK. There we go. Welcome in. So I'm going to make a beef stew. A lot of this stuff is from my preps or stuff I have grown. So first thing we do is we're going to make a base where I'm going to put some water in there. Now I don't really have to, about 2 cups worth. If I think I need more, I will put it in there. And I'm going to use beef bouillon. Right there. Yeah, absolutely my pleasure. So we'll put some beef bouillon in the crock pot to kind of get things going. So I'll turn the crock pot on high. And I say about a crock pot, it's one of those kind of just put in, set it, and forget it. So I can have it on high. Then I can call the son later on this afternoon, tell him to turn it to low. And then time Mama gets home, they will have a delicious and nutritious meal. Spices we're going to keep pretty simple. So the beef bouillon, and then probably just regular salt. I'm probably going to keep it pretty light on the pepper, only because it's going in there. Hey Ash, how we doing there? So I'm going to make a beef, tomato, jalapeno type stew, and I've got the bouillon in there right now. So canned tomatoes from last year's garden, fresh tomatoes I just picked, and Keystone beef. Now why did I buy Keystone? Keystone because it lasts, well, its best by date is 7 years out, not 2 or 3. So that means it can stay in your cupboard far longer, which means you're less likely to end up throwing it away. And I say best by dates because it's not an expiration date. I keep these in a nice, cool, dark place, and so they'll last a lot longer than that. Now, I made one of these about a month ago, and it turned out really well. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of using my preps from 2022 and start cooking them. So how's that an advantage? Well, I bought them back then when they were cheaper. And I don't have to go out and buy anything. So once I got it in there, in the crock pot, yep. And I fired just a couple jalapenos for a zing. I don't really want super hot food. I'm not that. I like to taste my food, and I do not have a tolerance to the really hot stuff. I'm not the one that goes to, oh, what's the name of that restaurant? Buffalo Wild Wings, and signs the waiver. Because I'm gonna, eat the 5-alarm stuff. No, jalapenos is my limit. That's about as far as I go. So I got the beef in there. I got that warming up. Now when I have the canned tomatoes, the first thing I'm gonna do is, okay, that tells me, let me get a can opener here, I have a good seal. Now if I was to open it up and that inner lid was popped up, well then I would throw it away. But hear that nice whoosh, and then you give it a sniff test. Oh man, as fresh as the day as I did it, that is, oh, that is so good. It never smells this good when I buy regular canned stuff. I'll put that in there. Ooh-wee, that's some good stuff. And then take it in the wash so I can reuse it. Probably have to buy a new lid, but that's okay. Then I gotta figure just how many tomatoes do I want in it. Now I want some fresh ones. The last time I made kind of a chili with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash and core out the 2 big ones and kind of chop them up and throw them in there. And then you just kind of go from there. Looking good in the neighborhood. Like I said, these I just picked. Oh, about a half hour ago, the neighbor was out there, who lives behind me. He's got beehives. And as anything, when you get too old, guys yakking. Sometimes we talk a little bit longer than we were planning on. I'll plead the 5th on that. Hey, runner boy, how we doing? Oop. Might have to put my glasses on. All right. See how much you make from Rumble since you get paid. You don't need any requirements. Yeah, so right now it's 0. But I think they said for every 1,000 views, you can kind of make $1. So we'll see how that goes. And it comes down to it where you need to get to a certain amount before they pay you out. I mean, it might be $50, I'm not sure. So that's one of my videos on my Rumble channel. If you want to click the link real quick and follow me on that, I would appreciate it. I went over there because East Tennessee went over there. He was getting frustrated with YouTube, kind of always demonetizing them and stuff like that, because he talks about some other things. Barf bag, go away. Okay? We don't have any time for you. Runner boy, you know what to do. unlike Instagram where I may suffer trolls, I don't suffer it on YouTube. I don't have time for the fools. They're distractive from people who really want to be here and want to listen to things. And so you as a real subscriber, you don't want to sit there and have to deal with that. So the tomatoes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut as much of the skin off. I don't worry about taking it all off. But I'm going to take a lot of the skin off. I'm not going to de-seed it. That's just too much work. And then I'll sit there and kind of cut it in chunks. And anytime I see some really thick areas where it's stemmy, I just cut that out. And slide it into the crock pot. So now I got freshly canned and then I got fresh. So the same thing, I just take the core out because that's really stemmy. Still digestible, but not really something I want to eat. Yeah. Thank you, Runner Boy. We don't suffer that stuff here. And that's the problem is when I do the lives off my phone, I don't have the subscribe only mode. Now, the nice thing is it means I do attract some new people who can make comments in here. And as long as your comments are respectful and it's just a an honest question in that, you're more than welcome. Well, if you play the fool, my moderators and I are pretty much on the same program that you just gotta go. Don't go away, man. Just go away. So there's a whole tomato popped in there. 2 tomatoes. So I'll stir it. Stir it. And I just want to make sure I got enough tomatoes in there for flavor. So I got the beef. I got the tomatoes. I am going to add some salt to it. Now this is Himalayan salt. It is more better for you because it has trace minerals, such as manganese, magnesium, and things like that. So while I got that stirring, I'm going to enjoy this nice big green pepper I seen while I was watering. To me, that's just good eating. And this will kind of be my snack while I'm eating. So I'll just get me a different cutting board out. That's one thing when you are cooking, you're going to make a mess. What happens is a lot of times I have a lot of stuff pop back up out of the garden next year because of all the seeds that I put in there. So, And it don't get any fresher than that. It's good stuff. A lot of times with these little small tomatoes, I really don't need to core them. I really just kind of quarter them up, toss them right on in. Another one too. Well, this one I'll core. I want to use as many fresh tomatoes as I can, basically because if I don't use them, I'll lose them. Now to get a little bite into it. I'm gonna cut me up some jalapenos. I just picked those too. Just put some spice in it. I rinse them off just to get any residual dust or dirt off it. I don't use any pesticides. One thing you know is I will take the kind of grind most of the seeds out of there. There we go. And this will kind of give it a nice little zing. To a point. But using fresh ones are the best. And then when the plant produces way more than I can use in my cooking, I will take them to my favorite restaurant out in Pontiac, Illinois, Mex. And they eat this stuff like candy. So I think 4 in the whole pot will be plenty. Don't want to overdo it. Although every year it seems like I'm using more and more. So it's like I'm getting a taste for it. And then when I'm done cutting up the jalapenos, what is very advisable is to wash your hands. Because if you don't, and you rub your eye, and I know this from experience, it's not a good experience. Like burn, baby, burn. So maybe one more mater. So kind of talking about the other social medias, YouTube has seemed to pay a little better now. I don't know, maybe if they caught on. You know, a lot of people are complaining. Because I'm not like getting thousands and thousands of views. Well, I am, but not like I used to. But I am seem to be making decent money. Now the trick is to have just the right amount of ingredients in there. I'm thinking I might want to use the potatoes now before they start doing that. So I think I'm just going to put, well, I'll start with 3 and see how it goes. This won't be I won't be able to eat this meal until maybe midnight. If I'm actually hungry by then. So I don't need to peel everything on the potato, but I do like to get down some of the more areas out. Oops. Now, the ones I grow in my garden, I would pretty much just wash. But these are store-bought. So I am going to peel a lot of it down. But I don't need to peel everything. Then I'll chop it up and toss it in there. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. If you have hit thumbs up, please do. I'm going to help my algorithm, as they say. I like to put them in just one at a time. Just kind of get a feeling, number one, how full the crock pot is getting. Whether it's getting too full. So, one more good sized tater. I'll probably do it. And of course, everything goes in the coffee can. Then I take that out to the garden and throw it in the compost corners. And by the beginning of next year, those areas will be preferred areas to pull soil from. Those will be full of nutrients. Here we go. I am making beef and tomato and potato stew with 4 jalapenos popped in there for a little extra zing. Hey Shannon, how we doing? Thanks for stopping in. Good morning. Well, I've had a busy morning already. Yesterday I tried to go to the local Walmart to have them just do a simple thing of putting a new tire on, and it was too much for them. They kept making excuses. Oh, I can't get these lugs off. I'm afraid I might break it. So I said, just put it back together and I'll take it somewhere else. And I took it to Jay's Tire and Streeter, and 30 minutes later it was done. That tells me they just want to do it. Alrighty, so I got it all together now. And I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of pepper. You can always add more later. and a little bit more salt. So I'm not moving, but I'm trying out Rumble and see if it's worthwhile. So I'll be putting a lot of videos on there. Some will be pretty exclusive to Rumble and or Instagram. I will still keep going with YouTube also. I'm thinking the honeymoon is over with Instagram. And the reason I say that, I sent him an email about it, is I had at one time I was showing $90, $92 for a payout, and in the next hour it was $29. So I was like, okay, where did 70 bucks go? Now I understand that there's times there's 1 or 2% adjustments. I do understand that. But this was not 1 or 2%. This was like 70%. Just went bye-bye. So I sent an email and I got some instant response back. Oh, if you're having problems, it could be, it wasn't. So, and then what's funny, about 5 minutes after they send me the response, they send you a survey. How did we do? Well, on the survey, I let them know how they did. So you did poorly. You didn't do anything. So then later on last night, I got a more detailed email asking me to send them screenshots, and I did. But I haven't heard anything back. I just said, I want to know how you're justifying a 70% discount. All of a sudden to me, that just seems like you're cheating me. So here's one of my videos on Rumble. So if you click on it, it'll take you to my Rumble and you could follow me. I appreciate it. I decided to go over there because East Tennessee prepper said he was done and he was going over there. He got tired with YouTube. You don't. So, remember, boy, or Shannon, if you're on there, just kind of keep an eye on him. We've already popped one troll. This was probably him back. Probably just made another one. So, got it in the crock pot, got it set it high, like 20 after 11. I'll probably head for the gym in about an hour. There you go. You can almost tell by the name, And because I'm going off of my phone, I don't have it on subscriber mode only. So you're going to track some of that. Oh, there you go. Camping this used to be fun when I was in Boy Scouts, but I'll be honest with you. All the time in the service, I was out in the field for 9 months out of the year. And I got a farm. When I go camping, I just walk out the door. But yes, it can be, it can be very relaxing. So my honeymoon with Instagram might be over. I'll see what happens at the end of the pay period. YouTube has seemed to have gotten a little better. Not a lot, but a little better. And let's get ready to rumble. So if you check out my Rumble channel and hit likes and views on it, I appreciate it. And I can see if that's worth the time or effort. And they say when one door shuts, you gotta break down the wall. Or another one open, something like that. So that's pretty easy to do. Doesn't take long to set it up. Can of Keats stove beef. Can of tomatoes that I packed last year. Smelt just as fresh as when I put them in there. I think I cut up 5 tomatoes I just picked from the garden. And 4 jalapenos. These are probably letting too long. So, yeah, let's do it. So everybody, thanks for joining in. I'm gonna get the rest of the day ready to roll. I think I still have to do my walk to the pond. I don't know if I'm gonna throw a discus or not. We'll see how I feel. It's if I do that, I'll do that immediately. And it's just gonna be a couple throws, just where I'm just trying to make sure my release is right. I may have to throw this year in just a standing position. You know, unless this foot gets better, it is what it is. So remember, everybody, rest, nutrition, proper exercise. Follow me on Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. And of course, Instagram and YouTube. I will still keep those active. I'm just trying to survive today's economy. Let's keep it there. Thanks for joining in. Better move this back now. Move it forward. Everybody have a good day.